Okay, let's get this horrible thing over with. So what's this called? Berrehs Shopping Adventure A Go-Go Super Fun Time Extravaganza Advanced Technique 2. Okay. Apparently it's dedicated to all those little boys. Whatever that means. Fucking drug addicts. Okay. So, one day, Barry Ponch was really drunk. Well, that's really every day, but this day was really, really drunk. Ah, shit, son, Barry said. Time for some shopping. And then Barry went shopping. All the shopping was shopping in the shop with the baubles on their trinkets and the meatses and cheeses and the I don't want your apples. What? But anyway, she happened upon a stall of outlandish looking plants.
Joseph, these be some sweet plunge.
Flat. Whatever. She said, so drunkenly. She bought all the plants because why not, and ordered them delivered to the house she lived at. She plundered on down to the other stalls, tripping and ripping and tearing everything up as she shredded on her sweet moped. Scootaloo was all with the shotgun on and was like, so Awes. Okay. But that's a different story. Scootaloo is a Pegasus, the worst Pegasus. She has no parents. Scootaloo, why you so worst, Orphan? Orphan Annie was better than that. But they all died eventually anyway. So back to the market. I'm gonna have to agree with that part. There was a particular place that was one of the so many much places that Barry had wanted to go to. But then she forgot, turned a corner, and fell into a pile of explosions. The royal guards heard and were all, "Stop right there, criminal scum," but Barry didn't, and ducked into a curio shop. Zicorio,
I demand you find the stuff.
Okay, that works. She said with a smile as her face was tattered from the shredding and explosions I mentioned earlier in the story. And she got the stuff, and Barry was like,
Bitch, I ain't paying for shit today, it's free.
and Zikora had to deal with it because Barry tossed her sunglasses. Barry left Zikora's shop through to Winder's and fell onto the royal guards and walked away laughing. You see what Barry did there? She totally just fucked up their shit. Barry punched it in color. Barry does what Barry motherfucking wants because Barry is a honey badger or something. Barry, why you honey badger? The wine was talking to her again, causing her to swerve and hit a small filly in the street, but the kid just laughed and Barry went into hyper turbo. Barry made foosh in her lips and she went foosh 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 and she veered through the market, causing coal explosions and ruckus everywhere, and fillies and OCs were lined up at every stall for autographs.
That OC's trying to grab my styles.
Barry said loudly enough for the stall to rumble. The OCs cried and cried as they tended to their hurt pride. Barry has a sat and says,
I am sorry, OC, but you are fake. You make me shrive in my skin.
And so she gave all the OCs her autographs and taught them to do backflips because Barry is a cool mare who does what she wants and doesn't afraid of anything. Or anything. I don't know. After so many much autographings and trixies and lags and more drinklings with the OC swarm, she wandered back to the streets, and the sun had fallen and Luna's night tore through the sky. But she still had not gotten and fuds. See, she left for another cart to get the foods required to keep her her to keep her horrible filly she never really ever sometimes possibly a little enjoyed, with exceptions sometimes maybe on the weekends or weekdays.
Damn.
She says, like yelling, but not that loud.
These foods are my prize, and I should have won them for them.
Seriously, if you need a recap, get your memory checked. Backflip lessons. So she did, and all was wheel. Berreh noticed out of the corner of her eye she'd forgotten her booze, so she hurriedly went back to get her booze. She loved her booze more than her life. Intermission.
So I commandeered the second page for myself.
Do I have to read all of this stuff, or just, like, the story?
Yes.
Yeah.
Read
Whatever.
it all.
How I view the Steam chat. Actually, I need to do this in a vinyl voice. Actually, I can't do his voice. Whatever. How I view the Steam chat. I visualize the chat as a giant co-ed dormitory. There is a living room, a kitchen, and a table that we call a dining room. There are 2 exterior doors, one leading to offline mode and the other leading to MC and other games. We have our individual rooms upstairs. The hallway is never ending, and there is a black hole at the end. We engage in mostly chat on the first floor, while the second floor represents private chat or away/busy mode. Steam chat is a beautiful thing. We're all like a bunch of broke college students that argue and hate each other, but in the end, we're all friends and we're going through the same thing. That weird face that says colon and a D. Vinyl. What about orgies? Yes, we have those too, but where is bar? It is in the kitchen, and my lab, it is in the basement. Fuck yeah, pony cave lab basement. Oh yeah, what the fuck am I reading? .jpeg. Resume story. Oh god. Berreh did some sweet tricks on her scooter motorcycle. Then what? She crashed, silly. Drunk tricks on a scooter moped is dangerous. She should have known. Silly Berreh. But then she wandered through the smoke and boom and found her way to food stall. But it was apples, and she didn't want any apples. Apple Bloom was all, buy some apples, and Berreh was not feeling quite all there, and it sounded like, I will kill you in your sleep.
I'll kill you while you sleep.
And Berreh was scared with shock. Suddenly, Applejack appeared and tried to apologize. Berreh could do was see mental images of a crazed pony chopping pieces of other ponies with a sloosh and a slosh, and she thought Applejack was the crazed pony, and she couldn't think and backed away slowly for fear of life and booze. I think my IQ is dropping reading this shit. She quickly wheeled back and drop-kicked Jerk in the face, sending Apple Smack spiraling into the little unnamed Apple Bloom. Oh god. Whatever. Ouchies! Exclaimed the tiny perfect filly. Berreh yelled and screamed and made a hubbub and a big tatto about the ordeals as she climbed back onto her smoking wreckage and went zooming off into the city to get back to her house. She was distracted by something, I'll think of it later, but it made her crash into Twilight Sporkle. They both felt very lightheaded and stumbled around while getting up. Berreh apologized immediately, and Twilight did the same. They were both very embarrassed, but they started up a conversation and started walking towards Berreh's place. During the entire way up there, Berreh was thinking about the welfare of her alcohol. Once they made it to the front step, Berreh tried to get Twilight to leave, but she asked to use the little filly's room before she left. Berreh was getting more and more paranoid. Once Twilight came out, she was breathing very heavily. Twilight noticed this and asked, anyone? Anyone?
What's wrong?
Berreh was all wet in the haunches. She wet, holy shit, Berreh, control your hormones.
He's goofy.
And Twilight was all,
Not again, Berreh. No.
Then they made love, but Pinchy walked down the stairs and looked into the room and was all,
Hi, Mom. What?
and turned around and went right back to Tumblr. She postulated a story about what was happening at that very moment, and it got so many views and favorites that she became an internet celebrity, and Celestia came to her to Canterlot for the rewards ceremony. But Berreh was far too busy to have even noticed that she was gone for like 2 whole weeks, and Twy was lost in the sensation and was tardy. Why? Berreh was so wrapped in the happenings of Twy trying to change her love for booze into a heartfelt sensation for some ugly broad named Smarty Pants that she didn't even notice very well that Punchy was lost in a delirious of drugs, sex, and cocaine, so she went shopping again. God, this is fucking idiotic. What were you smoking, man, when you wrote this? Berreh is a silly pillow pony and needed a rest from her flaming scooter moped trixies. So she went to her car, which was really Applejerk's car, but it was okay because Applejerk was too busy having Big Macs.
Oh God.
Babies, which is again another story for another time, but one should look up the chronicles of the great Merriam-Webster, and then maybe Ken's understand a bit, but not really like, and she took the car in reverse to Canterlot, but missed and ended up crashing into Zikora's hut. Damn it, Zikora.
Zikora.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why you so hit your cottage on my truck? That's not even your truck, you cunt. Why you crash right into my hut? Shut up, bitch. It's my mother. You have really great needed corns. Why you don't use it over here?
And then they fucked, but not really, because that would be gross. But it felt as if they were going to, as they embraced each other's womanhood when a drunken Appleboom walked in demanding more date rape. What? Instantly, Berreh was once again petrified from terrible visions, what plagued her consciousness when she had not been in the drinkings of enough drinkings of the drunken to be had. She dived into the cauldron, muttering something about boiling wings and cider. Suddenly, out of nowhere, but not really, it was out of the cauldron. Berreh burst up like a dolphin. In fact, what the fuck? She was a dolphin. Zachary and Apsblum were so confused by their new dolphin overlords that they both shat each other's pants.
What, dude?
What? Dumb Zakol shouted at the scared best filly ever.
I don't know. I'm just a little failure.
Replied the red and yellow filly. The red and yellow filly being Applebloom. How did you not know this? Pay attention. Berreh Dolphin was sad because she was a dolphin and she had to rape people because that was the way of dolphins, which she was as of up there earlier.
Fuck, I'm Dolphus.
She said, and she was. She invited the two ponies to a casual brunch in the middle of the sea. They said as they wondered what Berreh said in squeaking dolphin noises. Berreh proceeded to grab the lot of them with her dolphin prehensile penis and drag them out into the sea, but that is all the other stories. Wait, no it isn't. It's for this one. What the flying fuck?
Swimming.
Whatever. Berreh never expected to be interrupted by rogue sea ponies because they are never expected. Sea ponies are Spanish and stuff and prefer to live inside under the water. But when the strangely colored dolphin appeared in the peripheral scout's vision of sightseeing, they had to intercept seeing the pony and the striped one being dragged along by the enormous prehensile member of George Berreh Dolphin. Why? I want to know why.
Keep going, keep going.
They spoke in their strange Latin tongue of the sea pony, and all Berreh heard was shooby-doo, so Berreh danced, but then wasn't much of a dance because was dolphin. And then Berreh had a sad and sunk like lead to the bottom of the sea. With her rapidly sobering mood and the depressing environment, Berreh lost control of her strange and unusual penis, and the ponies drifted upwards towards the surface. The sea ponies helped them back to the beach, and then consulted the elder god Cthulhu on what to do about the shapeshifter now in their midst. Whilst the elder god deliberated from shadows beyond time and space, a portal appeared, and a pink pony popped out and said,
Hey, you're not my parents.
and then grabbed the dolphin and returned to the portal to another space and time. Berreh awoke on a cold metal table, a pony again, but now with a splitting headache, and everything was so still. What is going on? And how long had she been out? Where's the booze? What do? The pink pony wasn't a mystery, but we still say it is because dramatic irony is supposed to be good when writing. The pony was all chipper and tipper, bouncing around as the room was filled with bleak and death.
Oh, hi, Dolphus Trancator.
Said the pink one as the pink one waved a knife around in her mouth, which wasn't that round at all, except it kind of was a bit, but not so much really. Okay, fuck this. Very squeals in her regular tongue as her tail goes flip-a-flop-a, flip-a-flop. She no longer was going foosh, and with her lips, as she did trick on moped for the worst orphan. Instead, she screamed at top of lungs to break all the metal and eardrums, and Pinky Pip was all,
Bitch, I'ma cut you for that.
except the knife was also borked. Well, I said that subconsciously. And all sadness and fun times again were to be of the being state of having them. Berreh hurried, but not too fast, because she hoped or something, that she might have possibly the chance to turn into her natural dolphin form again. But all hope of that was lost, and she went to her bad filly and they prawn addictions. With their prawn addictions.
Punjay, I'ma cut your internet.
Oh, God.
Quiet, you.
Berreh screamed as she slammed through the door. And so she did, ignoring the little crying pony as she went to the Berreh, and poured herself a drink to settle her nerves. As the alcohol sank in and her brain began to muddle again, she remembered that she was a nice pony and not bitch pony, except sometimes, and then had sads for Pinche and reconnected the internets.
Pinchy, I'm wrecking that. Go club, you dirty bad sponge thing, you.
She blathered and poured another glass of bourbon. Twilight stumbled out of the bathroom, saw Berreh was back, and tried to run out of the front door, but tripped and fell and then said fuck it and sat down for a shot herself.
Oh no.
Berreh said as she tended to Twilight's wounds. Wait, there you go.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I've ruined my carpet and now it won't be on stage.
Twilight began blushing because she was super embarrassed, but did nothing to stop the drunk pony from licking her knees.
I don't think Celestial would be very pleased. No.
Twilight stammered because of Celeste's fury was well known and oftentimes found its way to cracking down upon the bottom of Twilight's rear.
Oh, damn.
She exclaimed. Suddenly, Celestia came crashing into the house with gifts of wine and booze and spirits and vodka and toys for Pounchy Face.
Hello, ponies. I come from a land down under. I come for Twilight's lessons.
Pinchy ran down the stairs, grabbed her girths, and ran back up the stairs. Celestia made so much screwdrivers and mudslides, and the three ponies were getting all the mini drunks and tipsilies, and then Rambudouche crashed in and grabbed a bottle of rum It took a large swag to catch up, and they all sat around the table and played Truth or Dare. It was Dashing's turn, and she was all,
Berreh, I dare you to dance on the table.
So Berreh hopped onto the table and danced the magic dance, and the glasses were upturned and booze spilled everywhere, and Dash fell on the floor laughing, and Twy and Sally cleaned up with the Unicron's magics, and then it was Barry's turn, and Barry was all,
Try. I dare you to go spy on Pinchy.
Twy gulped as she had read the Tumblr, as Pinchy was a celebrity now and had corporate sponsorship and fine t-shirts and mugs and custom panties and all sorts of strange things that brought in the cash, and was putting everyone else out of their monners because it was a depression after all, and the Apple family held the stranglehold on the markets, and so Twilight crept up the stairs. Slowly, silently, like a cat, she peered into the door into Pinchy's room and gasped.
Punchy, what are you doing?
She yelled at the little porny as she watched a camera glaze across her small, young, tantalizing, fresh, tasty, delicious, fragile, slender, tender, splendorous, smooth, supple, sultry filly frame. That's weird, man. Wanna join
me?
She said as she held up a sweaty hoof to Twillet blend. Oh, man.
No, I do not want to join.
Here's what Twilight thought she said, and she closed in on the young filly. Downstairs, the others are snickering and snacking on delicious, whiny treats.
Oh my god, Twilight just said a slut.
Celestia said as she made another clone of Twilight, forcing it into a maid dress because that was the sexy thing for her to do. Twilight shrieked because of Hat Pounchy was doing to her. She was using her hypnosis, just BT dubs. Barry didn't care though, because Barry was too busy enjoying the fine ass of Twilight Claw number exempt in a maid dress.
Damn, bitch, Celestia.
Barry said.
That is some fine plot you got there. Oh, damn.
Said Bitch Lestia. Note, Bitch Lestia is an original character done at Stelly. She is completely original and better than every other character, and in no way has anything to do with Celestia.
Oh, you sexy Celestia.
Celestia said as she spoke to the best thing ever made effort clearly.
I wish I was as cool as you.
Twilight said but the rest of the paragraph was cut off as Bitch Lestia exploded due to not being able to contain her awesomeness and all of her alicorn gory. Okay. Then Trixie Pony dropped by too, though, so all was fine as they continued to play Spin the Bottle in Twilight Essence.
Who shall be lucky to fetch a kiss from the great and powerful Trixie?
Trixie mocked as the bottle spun round and round. The anticipation mounted as every pony who was any pony would want to have the honors of locking lips with one so great and powerful and famous, and the great and powerful Trixie. Wait. Yeah. Why, the only honor greater in the whole wide world of equestrials would be having a mere minute of screen time on camera with Pinchy. You. And then they were all jelly of Twy, but the horror she must be undergoing reminded them that it was far too much for them, yet they were not in the drinklings enough for the evening. Then the bottle slowed and pointed straight at Berry Punch. Barry giggled and said,
Trixie, watch this.
and then stuck her tongue out across the table at Trixie. Barry was known far and wide for having the longest tongue in all of Equestrals.
Pardon, White.
Trixie grabbed the tongue and pulled herself on top of the table to be where having the access of scrabbling across to Berreh to bite her face in a sexy way that every pony would force themselves to clap to seem like a cool guy slash pony.
Oh my god.
Very soon, because of the sexy face bite, made her appetite for her hot bod increasingly difficult to deal with. I see what you did there. Soon the table was orgasms, and upstairs was orgasms, and all orgasms were orgasming the orgasmiest way to orgasm with the liquids and juices, and it all devolved into a fest of orgasms and sauce. Okay. Trixie was a shoo-in for this year's Sauciest Pony competition, every pony thought, including Pianchi, who was upstairs with Twilight orgasming the orgasmic way. How many times can you use the word orgasm in one paragraph? Seriously. Trixie tried to light a cigar, but found it so sooty due to the orgasms making it everything wet. Dashie laughed and used tremendal wing flaps to dry the cigar, causing Trixie's mane to stick straight out backwards with sticky and sauce. Pinchy appeared at the door, dragging Twilight behind her.
I think I broke.
She said as she looked around the room, then dropped off the unconscious Unicron and walked right back up the stairs. Barry sighed contentedly and grabbed the bottle of vodka and drank straight from it because needs to clean all the things for use later. The room was spinning and ponies were giggling, and it was a good night, but then fuck, I forgot to get the foods. Tune in next week for Berrehs Shop and Adventure, a Go-Go Super Fun Time Extravaganza Advanced Technique 2, part the next one. And then we all humped Berreh, and then they all fucked. Why, well, woo, the end.